rest you merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day, to save us all from Satan's power when we went on astray.
Get away, I tell you. I want none of your singing here. Now get away before I take a stick to you. Get away, all of you. It was I who said those words, may heaven help my soul. It was I who called them out into the London night on Christmas Eve and sent those children scampering into the fog with fear in their hearts, where but a moment before had been the love of fellow man and God. I have learnt a great deal since then, and my story bears telling. My name is Ebenezer Scrooge, and the time of which I speak was Christmas, in the year of our Lord 1843. It was cold, bleak, biting weather. In my counting house, where I sat working busily over my ledgers, the fog came pouring in at every chink and keyhole. But I remember noting with silent glee that it had been a good year, and I was a much richer man. The city clocks had just struck 3, but already it was quite dark, and I had lit a candle to see by. My clerk had also lit a candle. The miserable wretch was warming his hands by it, wasting good time and money. I was just about to reprimand him when the door opened with a clatter.
Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Close that door. Do you want to freeze us out?
I'm sorry, Uncle. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And what reason have you to be merry? Heaven knows you're poor enough.
Then what right have you to be sour? You're rich enough.
This is a place of business, nephew. I'll thank you to leave us alone.
Now, don't be angry, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools? Merry Christmas. Humbug. What does it mean but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older, but not an hour richer? If I had my way, every fool who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. Now, get out.
Uncle Ebenezer, if you'll only...
Keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
But that's just it. You don't keep it. I came to ask you to have dinner with us tomorrow.
Thank you, nephew. I'll starve first.
But why? We don't want anything from you. We ask nothing of you.
Really? Not even a gift for your charming wife? A bauble for your pretty little child? Oh, come.
I'm sorry you don't understand, Uncle. I came here purely out of the Christmas spirit.
And when you go, will you please take it with you? Good night, nephew.
Good night, sir. Merry Christmas!
Humbug!
Mr. Scrooge, sir.
Well, what is it?
I was just wondering, sir,
If you might leave for the night, eh? Well, say it.
Yes, sir.
And you'll want all day tomorrow, I suppose, Mr. Cratchit.
If it's quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient and hardly reasonable. If I was to deduct half a crown for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, wouldn't you, Mr. Cratchit?
Well, sir, half a crown.
And yet, Mr. Cratchit, you see no reason why I shouldn't pay a day's wages for no work.
It's only once a year, sir.
Once a year. A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. Well, I suppose you must have it. Lock all the windows when you leave. And mind you, be here all the earlier next morning. I felt no twinge of conscience that fateful Christmas Eve, no pang of remorse, no sense of guilt, for I had never known these weakling sentiments. Why, then, did my dark chambers seem darker than they ever had before? Why did I start in fear as I crossed the gloomy threshold of my house? What was there, waiting for me? I stood in the blackness, suddenly shaken by a chill, as though an icy hand had clasped its fingers round my heart. Then slowly I mounted the stairs. Once in my room, I knew I would be safe. Once locked behind my heavy door, this nameless fear that clutched at me would be gone. Quickly, I made myself ready for bed. And then, in the flickering light of my solitary candle, I saw it. It stood in the shadows, shining with a sickly bluish gleam. Its eyes were staring into mine, 2 dead eyes, staring out of a dead face. Who are you? What do you want with me? Who are you?
Ask me rather who I was. In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Marley. I know you now, but you're dead. You're dead. Why have you come here?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death.
No, no, stand back.
His spirit is doomed to wander through the world and witness happiness it cannot share, but might have shared on earth.
You are fettered. You're in chains. Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life. Of my own free will I wore it. I made it link by link and yard by yard. Is its pattern strange to you? Money boxes, keys and padlocks, heavy purses wrought in steel. I think you know this pattern well.
You were always a good man of business, Marley.
Business. Mankind was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance were my business. But I turned my back on these and looked for wealth. I suffer for it now.
But you are 7 years dead. You are beyond suffering.
Hear me, my time is nearly gone. As I have suffered, so will you. For your life is mean. Your soul is shriveled, as mine was. But while that life still beats in you, you have yet one chance, one hope of escaping my fate.
What hope is that you speak of? Tell me, Marley.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits. Look for the first in the dark of the morning when the clock strikes 1. The second spirit on the stroke of 2. The third will come when the bell tolls 3. Look to see me no more. But remember well what I have said. Remember and take heed. Remember.
How long I slept, I do not know. But I awoke in a tremble, the voice of the steeple clock still ringing in my ears, as it struck the first hour of Christmas Day. There at my bedside, as old Marley had warned, was the spirit who had come to haunt me. It was a strange figure, like a child, and yet its hair was white with age. It held a branch of fresh green holly in its hand, and strangest of all, from the crown of its head there sprung a bright, clear light.
You must come with me, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold me?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
Well, why have you come? What brings you here?
Your welfare and your reclamation. Rise and walk with me.
Walk? Where?
Through your window, out into the night, out on the wings of the wind. Come with me, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Wait. What place is this? Where are we?
Look there below and tell me what you see.
I see a school, a cold and draughty hall. I see a long, bare, melancholy room in which a boy sits reading. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, for they have all gone home for Christmas. He wants to cry, but doesn't dare. Now he lifts his head. I see his face.
His name?
His name is Ebenezer Scrooge.
Here now is the shadow of another Christmas. The boy is older, but the innocence of childhood is no longer in his face. There is a restless motion in his eye, and he wears the signs of care and greed.
Show me no more.
That girl who sits beside him, they're to be married.
Stop, take me back.
Listen, Ebenezer Scrooge, hear what she says.
I know it matters little to you. And so, I give you your release, Ebenezer.
Take me back.
You have changed. And your love is not for me any longer. You love money now. And power. Another idol has displaced me. A golden one. Goodbye, Ebenezer.
She is gone. Out of the room, out of your life.
Show me no more, I say.
One
no.
shadow more.
No, no more.
One glimpse of her at still another Christmas.
No.
Happy in a home that might have been your home.
No.
Laughing with her children who might have been your children.
No, no, leave me. Haunt me no longer. Do you hear? Haunt me no longer. Again I slept. Again the steepled clock tolled out the hour on the Christmas morning air.
Wake up, man, wake up! I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me, man. Know me better.
Before me stood a spirit, giant in size, clear-eyed and smiling. On its head there was a crown of holly. It held a great lighted torch high in the air, filling the room with a ruddy glow. I stared at him, more in wonder than in fear. And then the second spirit laughed.
Have you never seen the like of me before?
Never.
What? You've never walked with my brothers?
Have you many brothers, spirit?
More than 1,800. One for every Christmas is the first. Will you come with me, man?
I've seen the Christmases of the past. They brought me no joy.
Oh, come along, man, come along. I will show you the Christmas of today. There lies the world below you. Look, Ebenezer Scrooge, and tell me what you see.
I see the brightness of a million fires burning on a million hearths. I see families joined together.
Making merry.
Over nothing. I see children with their bright new toys.
Laughing.
And invalids on their sick beds.
Smiling with new hope.
I see a place where miners live, who labor in the bowels of the earth.
And even they are happy on this night.
Yes, yes, they appear so. And there at sea, look, a ship tossed by the wind. And on the ship, two sailors join hands.
To wish each other joy.
Yes, yes, all this I see.
And all this is the spirit of Christmas. Come with me now. There is a miserable room in a miserable house where lives a man that you know well. There. Do you see him?
Why, that's my clerk, Bob Cratchit. But the others, oh, I know them not.
Bob Cratchit has a wife and children. 5 children. And all these mouths are fed and bodies clothed on the 15 shillings which you so kindly give him every week.
A wife and children? I never knew that.
You might have known. You never asked.
That child, the youngest of the 5, he has a crutch. He is a cripple?
The crutch supports his body. His spirit stands alone.
Well, now, children, your father's here. Chairs for the table. Peter, fetch the goose. Martha, the potatoes need your hand. Oh, Bob, there's such a goose.
Tiny Tim could tell you that, couldn't you, Tim?
I smelled it, Mother. I could smell it coming up the stairs.
My little one. And was he a good boy at church,
As
Bob?
good as gold, eh, Tiny Tim?
It was nice to be in church this morning, Mother. I wanted everyone to see me.
Why, Tiny Tim?
Because I'm a cripple. And if people see a cripple on Christmas Day, why, then they'll remember that this is God's day. And it's God who makes the cripples walk and the blind to see.
Tiny Tim.
Well, isn't it, Mother?
Yes, dear.
Isn't it, Father?
Who else, my son?
And he'll make me walk, too. Someday I'll just throw away my crutch, and I'll never have to use it again. Will I, Father?
Never. Why, you're growing stronger every day. Feel his arm, Mother. Just feel it.
Feel my arm, Mother. Feel my arm. Oh, the goose is here. The goose is here.
A poor feast. A goose no larger than your hand might cover. But the Cratchits are not hard to please.
There never was such a goose. I don't believe there ever was such a goose cooked. The tenderness, the flavor.
And the stuffing.
And now the pudding. A very small pudding for so large a family.
A wonderful pudding, wonderful. Children, I regard this pudding, I say, as the greatest success achieved by Mrs. Cratchit since our marriage.
Hooray!
And now a toast. A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us. Merry Christmas, my dears.
God bless us, everyone.
feast is over. The Cratchits all gather round the fire now, and Tiny Tim will sing to them. Just one short tune before he's off to bed.
Tiny Tim. He's so pale, so thin. Tell me, will he live? Spirit, will Tiny Tim live?
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner. If these shadows remain unaltered, the child will die.
No, say he will be spared. Tell me he will be spared.
Do you worry? Why? If he be like to die, why then he had better do it and decrease the surplus population.
Spirit, stop, don't go. There must be others in the world, poor and in want.
Are there no prisons?
Hear me, they can be helped.
Are there no prisons?
Spirit.
Are there no workhouses?
Spirit, stay, come back, come back. The spirit had gone. I was alone in the windswept street, my shoulders bowed with shame. From far off, I heard the hours strike. And looking up, I beheld the third of the spirits. It was a phantom, shrouded in a long black robe. A hood concealed its face, but from the folds of the robe a thin white hand was outstretched toward me, beckoning.
I am the ghost of Christmas yet to come. I will show you the shadows of things that have not happened, but will happen in the time before us.
Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any specter I have seen.
Come. Look there. Do you know this street, Ebenezer Scrooge?
I do. My business is here. But that building is strange to me.
It will be built in years to come. Do you know those two men walking there?
I know them well. They are my friends.
Hear what they say.
Well, old Scratch has got his own at last, eh?
Well, so I hear. When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
What was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die. What's he done with his money?
Oh, I don't know. Left it to his business, probably.
Well, I'm sure he wouldn't give it away.
Cold, isn't it?
Did you hear, Ebenezer Scrooge? Come.
Where do you take me now? Why, it's Bob Cratchit kneeling there, but why?
Why? Death has passed his humble house and laid a wreath upon his step.
But the grave, it's such a small grave. Did Tiny Tim die?
Hear the father mourning for the son.
I wish that you could see this place, Tiny Tim. There's grass here such as you've never seen before. And flowers, too, and birds. You'll like it here, Tiny Tim. There'll be no pain, and you can throw your crutch away at last. And you won't be alone either, for I'll come here every Sunday as I promised, and as I walk home I'll feel your tiny weight upon my shoulder the way we used to walk, eh, Tim? And I'll hear your laugh, and I'll see your smile, and I'll think to myself, why, he's here just as he always was. He's here, Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim, born 1838, departed this life, aged 7 years. Must this be? Must that father cry out his heart upon a gravestone? Tell me this must not be.
There was a man named Ebenezer Scrooge. He might have saved this child.
He will. Let me have one chance. It was promised me if I altered my life. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The Spirit of God shall strive in me, I swear. Only tell me that I may sponge away the writing on that gravestone. Tell me. Suddenly I was back in my room, and the sun was streaming through the window. I had a sudden fear that Christmas Day had passed. With a cry, I sprang from my bed and threw open the window. You there, boy, what day is this?
Hey?
What day?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. Hello there, my fine fellow.
Hello.
Do you know the poulterers at the corner?
I should hope I did.
Oh, an intelligent boy. Have they sold the prize turkey that was hanging there?
What? The turkey as big as me?
Delightful, boy. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Is it still there?
It's hanging there now.
Then go and buy it, boy.
Yahoo!
No, I'm in earnest. Here's the money. Go and buy it. Tell him to send it to Bob Cratchit's house. And whatever's left is for you. And hurry, boy, hurry. I've been invited to my nephew's for dinner.
I'm going.
And, boy.
Yes, sir?
Merry Christmas, boy. Merry Christmas. And a Merry Christmas it was. I had the pleasure that day of dining with my nephew and his family. A rare treat, I discovered. And I was fortunate enough to meet the gentleman who had asked me for a contribution. Oh, he was surprised when old Scrooge pressed the money on him. And Cratchit, I had the double pleasure of raising his salary to such a figure that his eyes bulged almost from their sockets. A rare day, a rare treat all around. Yes, that was a Christmas for you. And I may tell you that Tiny Tim did not die. He's well and growing stronger day by day. A fine boy. I'll see him tonight at dinner, for this is Christmas once again. Yes, I keep Christmas now, for I have learned this, that no greater glory is given us than the love of fellow man, for in that love is love of God. May we keep Christmas always. May its fires burn forever in our hearts. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us every one.
Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord.
I have the highest pleasure in laying before you an account gathered from their letters of the investigations and observations of the 4 members of the Corresponding Society of the Pickwick Club on the occasion of their spending Christmas with their friend Mr. Wardle of the Manor Farm, Dingley Dell, in the county of Kent. Brisk as bees did the 4 Pickwickians, Mr. Pickwick, Mr. Tupman, Mr. Winkle, and Mr. Snodgrass, assemble on the morning of the 22nd day of December. Christmas was close at hand in all his bluff and hearty honesty. Gay and merry was the time, and right gay and merry were at least 4 of the numerous hearts that were gladdened by its coming. And numerous indeed are the hearts to which Christmas brings a brief season of happiness and enjoyment. How many families whose members have been dispersed and scattered far and wide in the restless struggles of life are then reunited and meet once again. Happy, happy Christmas that can win us back to the delusions of our childish days, that can recall to the old man the pleasures of his youth, that can transport the sailor and the traveler thousands of miles away back to his own fireside and his quiet home. But we are so taken up and occupied with the good qualities of this Saint Christmas that we are keeping Mr. Pickwick and his friends waiting in the cold on the outside of the Muggleton coach, which they have just attained, well wrapped up in greatcoats, shawls, and comforters. The portmanteaus and carpet bags have been stowed away. The coachman mounts to the box. Sam Weller, Mr. Pickwick's manservant, jumps up behind. The Pickwickians pull their coats round their legs and their shawls over their noses. The helpers pull the horsecloths off. The coachman shouts a cheery, "All right," and away they go. They have rumbled through the streets and jolted over the stones and at length reach the wide and open country. The wheels skim over the hard and frosty ground, and the horses, bursting into a canter at a smart crack of the whip, step along the road as if the load behind them, coach, passengers, portmanteaus, carpetbags, and all, were but a feather at their heels. They have descended a gentle slope and enter upon a level as compact and dry as a solid block of marble 2 miles long. Another crack of the whip, and on they speed at a smart gallop, the horses tossing their heads and rattling the harness as if in exhilaration at the rapidity of the motion. The lively notes of the guard's key bugle sound lustily forth as the coach rattles through the ill-paved streets of a country town. Mr. Pickwick emerges from his coat collar and looks about him with great curiosity. Mr. Winkle, who sits at the extreme edge with one leg dangling in the air, is nearly precipitated into the street as the coach twists round the sharp corner by the cheesemonger's shop and turns into the marketplace. And before Mr. Snodgrass, who sits next to him, has had time to recover from his alarm, they pull up at the inn yard. So at 3 o'clock that afternoon, they all stood high and dry, safe and sound, hale and hearty upon the steps of the Blue Lion, Muggleton. Mr. Pickwick was busily engaged in superintending the disinterment of the portmanteaus and carpet bags when he felt himself gently pulled by the coat. Looking round, he discovered that the individual who resorted to this method of catching his attention was none other than Mr. Wardle's favorite page, hereinafter referred to in the pages of this unvarnished history by the distinguishing appellation of the Fat Boy. "Ha, ha," said Mr. Pickwick. "Ha, ha," said the Fat Boy. He was fatter than ever. "Well, you look rosy enough, my young friend," said Mr. Pickwick. "I've been asleep right in front of the tap-room fire," replied the Fat Boy, who had heated himself to the color of a new chimney pot in the course of an hour's nap. "Master sent me over with the shay cart to carry your luggage up to the house. He'd have sent some saddle horses, but he thought you'd rather walk, being a cold day." Yes, said Mr. Pickwick. "Yes, we would rather walk. Here, Sam." "Sir," said Mr. Weller, helped Mr. Wardle's servant to put the packages into the cart. Mr. Pickwick and his three friends struck into the footpath across the fields, leaving Mr. Weller and the Fat Boy confronted. Sam looked at the Fat Boy with great astonishment, but without saying a word, and began to stow the luggage rapidly away in the cart, while the Fat Boy stood quietly by and seemed to think it a very interesting sort of thing to see Mr. Weller working by himself. "There," said Sam, throwing in the last carpet bag. "There they are." "Yes," said the Fat Boy in a very satisfied tone. "There they are." "Well," said Sam, "you're a nice specimen of a prize boy, you are." "Thank ye," said the Fat Boy. "You ain't got nothing on your mind as makes you fret yourself, have you?" inquired Sam. "Not as I knows on," replied the Fat Boy. "Well," said Sam, "I'm glad to hear it. Do you ever drink anything?" "I likes eating better," replied the boy. "Ah," said Sam, "I should have supposed that. But what I mean is, should you like a drop of anything as'd warm you? But I suppose you never was cold with all them elastic fixtures, was you?" "Sometimes," replied the boy, "and I likes a drop of something when it's good." "Ah, you do you?" said Sam. "Come this way, then." The Blue Lion tap was soon gained, and the Fat Boy swallowed a glass of liquor, without so much as winking, a feat which considerably advanced him in Mr. Weller's good opinion. Mr. Weller having transacted a similar piece of business on his own account, they got into the cart. "Can you drive?" said the Fat Boy. "I should rather think so," replied Sam. "There, then," said the Fat Boy, putting the reins in his hand and pointing up a lane. "It's as straight as you can go. You can't miss it." With these words, the Fat Boy laid himself down amongst the portmanteaus and carpet bags and fell asleep instantaneously. Meanwhile, Mr. Pickwick and his friends, having walked their blood into active circulation, proceeded cheerfully on. The paths were hard. The grass was crisp and frosty. The air had a fine, dry, bracing coldness. It was the sort of afternoon that might induce a couple of elderly gentlemen in a lonely field to take off their greatcoats and play at leapfrog in pure lightness of heart and gaiety, and we firmly believe that had Mr. Tupman at that moment proffered a back, Mr. Pickwick would have accepted his offer with the utmost avidity. However, Mr. Tupman did not volunteer any such accommodation, and the friends walked on. But if they were cheerful and happy outside the house, what was the warmth and cordiality of their reception when they reached the farm? The servants grinned with pleasure at the sight of Mr. Pickwick, and Emma bestowed a half-demure, half-impudent look on Mr. Tupman, which was enough to make the statue of Bonaparte in the passage unfold his arms and clasp her within them. The old lady, Mr. Wardle's mother, was seated with customary state in the front parlor, but she was rather cross, and by consequence most particularly deaf. The old lady never went out herself, and like a great many other old ladies, she was apt to consider it an act of domestic treason if anybody else took the liberty of doing what she couldn't. So, bless her old soul, she sat as upright as she could in her great chair and looked as fierce as might be, and that was benevolent after all. "Mother," shouted Mr. Wardle, "Mr. Pickwick. You recollect him?" "Never mind," replied the old lady with great dignity. "Don't trouble Mr. Pickwick about an old creature like me. Nobody cares about me now, and it's very natural they shouldn't." Here the old lady tossed her head and smoothed down her lavender-colored silk dress with trembling hands. "Come, Ma'am," said Mr. Pickwick. "I can't let you cut an old friend in this way. I've come down expressly to have a long talk with you, and we'll show these boys and girls how to dance a minuet before they're 8 and 40 hours older." The old lady was rapidly giving way, but she didn't like to do it all at once, so she only said, "I can't hear him." "Nonsense, Mother," said Wardle. Come, don't be cross. There's a good soul." But age has its little infirmities of temper, and she was not quite brought round yet. So she smoothed down the lavender-colored dress again, and turning to Mr. Pickwick, said, "Mr. Pickwick, things was very different when I was a girl." "No doubt of that, ma'am," said Mr. Pickwick, and whether the old lady was touched by Mr. Pickwick's affectionate good nature or whatever was the cause, she was fairly melted, and all the little ill humor evaporated. A happy party they were that night. The best sitting room at Manor Farm was a good, long, dark-paneled room with a high chimney-piece and a capacious chimney up which you could have driven one of the new patent cabs, wheels and all. At the upper end of the room, seated in a shady bower of holly and evergreens, were the two best fiddlers and the only harp in all Muggleton. In all sorts of recesses and on all kinds of brackets stood massive old silver candlesticks with 4 branches each. The carpet was up. The candles burned bright. The fire blazed and crackled on the hearth, and merry voices and light-hearted laughter rang through the room. If anything could have added to the interest of this agreeable scene, it would have been the remarkable fact of Mr. Pickwick's appearing without his gaiters, for the first time within the memory of his oldest friends. "You mean to dance?" said Wardle. "Of course I do," replied Mr. Pickwick. "Don't you see I'm dressed for the purpose?" Mr. Pickwick called attention to his speckled silk stockings and smartly tied pumps. "Oh, you in silk stockings!" exclaimed Mr. Tupman jocosely. "And why not, sir? Why not?" said Mr. Pickwick, turning warmly upon him. "Oh, of course there's no reason why you shouldn't wear them," responded Mr. Tupman. "I imagine not, sir, I imagine not," said Mr. Pickwick in a very peremptory tone. Mr. Tupman had contemplated a laugh, but he found it was a serious matter. So he looked grave and said they were a very pretty pattern. "I hope they are," said Mr. Pickwick, fixing his eyes upon his friend. "You see nothing extraordinary in the stockings, as stockings, I trust, sir?" "Certainly not. Certainly not," replied Mr. Tupman. He walked away, and Mr. Pickwick's countenance resumed its customary benign expression. "We're all ready, I believe," said Mr. Pickwick, who was stationed with the old lady at the top of the dance, and had already made 4 false starts in his excessive anxiety to commence. "Then begin at once," said Wardle. "Now." Up struck the 2 fiddles and the 1 harp, and off went Mr. Pickwick into Hands Across, when there was a general clapping of hands and a cry of "Stop! Stop!" "What's the matter?" said Mr. Pickwick, who was only brought to by the fiddles and harp desisting, and could have been stopped by no other earthly power if the house had been on fire. "Where's Arabella Allen?" cried a dozen voices. "And Winkle," added Mr. Tupman. "Here we are," exclaimed that gentleman, emerging with his pretty companion from the corner. As he did so, it would have been hard to tell which was the redder in the face, he or a young lady with black eyes. "What an extraordinary thing it is, Winkle," said Mr. Pickwick rather pettishly, "that you couldn't have taken your place before." "Not at all extraordinary," said Mr. Winkle. "Well," said Mr. Pickwick, with a very expressive smile as his eyes rested on Arabella, Well, I don't know that it was extraordinary either, after all. However, there was no time to think more about the matter, for the fiddles and harp began in real earnest. Away went Mr. Pickwick. Hands across, down the middle to the very end of the room, and halfway up the chimney. Back again to the door. Poussette everywhere. Loud stamp on the ground. Ready for the next couple. Off again. All the figure over once more. Another stamp to beat out the time. Next couple, and the next again. Never was such going. From the center of the ceiling, old Wardle had suspended with his own hands a huge branch of mistletoe, and this same branch of mistletoe gave rise to a scene of general and most delightful struggling and confusion. Mr. Pickwick took the old lady by the hand, led her beneath the mystic branch, and saluted her in all courtesy and decorum. The old lady submitted to this piece of practical politeness with all the dignity which befitted so important and serious a solemnity. But the younger ladies, not being so thoroughly imbued with a superstitious veneration for the custom, or imagining that the value of a salute is very much enhanced if it cost a little trouble to obtain it, screamed and struggled and ran into corners and threatened and remonstrated and did everything but leave the room, until some of the less adventurous gentlemen were on the point of desisting, when they all at once found it useless to resist any longer and submitted to be kissed with a good grace. Mr. Winkle kissed the young lady with the black eyes. Mr. Snodgrass kissed Emily. And Mr. Weller, not being particular about the form of being under the mistletoe, kissed Emma and the other female servants just as he caught them. As to the poor relations, they kissed everybody, not even excepting the plainer portions of the young lady visitors, who in their excessive confusion ran right under the mistletoe without knowing it. Wardle stood with his back to the fire, surveying the whole scene with the utmost satisfaction, and the fat boy took the opportunity of appropriating to his own use and summarily devouring a particularly fine mince pie that had been carefully put by for somebody else. Now the screaming had subsided, and faces were in a glow, and curls in a tangle. And Mr. Pickwick, after kissing the old lady as before mentioned, was standing under the mistletoe, looking with a very pleased countenance on all that was passing around him, when the young lady with the black eyes, after a little whispering with the other young ladies, made a sudden dart forward, and putting her arm round Mr. Pickwick's neck, saluted him affectionately on the left cheek. And before Mr. Pickwick distinctly knew what was the matter, he was surrounded by the whole body, and kissed by every one of them. It was a pleasant thing to see Mr. Pickwick in the center of the group, now pulled this way and then that, and first kissed on the chin, and then on the nose, and then on the spectacles, and to hear the peals of laughter which were raised on every side. When they were all tired, there was a great game at Snapdragon, and when fingers enough were burned with that and all the raisins were gone, they sat down by the huge fire of blazing logs to a substantial supper and a mighty bowl of wassail, something smaller than an ordinary wash-house copper, in which the hot apples were hissing and bubbling with a rich look and a jolly sound that were perfectly irresistible. This, said Mr. Pickwick, looking around him, this is indeed comfort. Our invariable custom at Christmas time, replied Mr. Wardle. Winkle, my boy, break up the fire. Up flew the bright sparks in myriads as the logs were stirred. The deep red blaze sent forth a rich glow that penetrated into the farthest corner of the room and cast its cheerful tint on every face.